permanent site,
you are aware that one of the very important responsibility of the National Assembly is to oversight or monitor the activities of the other arms of government. It is arising from that responsibility that we're here today to oversight what we've been told by NEMCO. They told us that some assets were handed over to them when that company was incorporated. And we need to be sure that they're telling us the correct thing. So here is the assets of government that in the privatization was handed over to NEMCO. And so we want to be sure that the assets is here, more so that it's being occupied by Abuja Distribution Company, which is a private company. And we're wondering why they're occupying government property. But the MD have told us why. They're supposed to be paying rent. And because this is advertised for sale, they also have the right of first refusal. Those are administrative issues that will be handled by the agency concerned, that is NEMCO. And so we were satisfied that at least the building is here. The MD of Abuja Distribution also have accepted that, yeah, this building belongs to government. There are tenants here in the interim until when they are able to procure it. That is if eventually they win the bid to buy the building.
How many of these assets do we have across the country, and what is your plan towards them?
Well, I'm not competent to say how many, even though we've been given a list now. I can't say, but the MD is here. He will be able to tell you how many we have such assets across the country. We've just given a list here of how many are within Abuja, but he has also told us that there are a lot of them across the nation. And most of them, the essence of giving them was for them to be able to sell it, sell some of them, offset some of the legacy debt. If there is anything surplus from it, that will be paid back into government. But there are a lot of them across the country, in every state, you know.
Okay, just very briefly, we are aware of the effort by the lawmaker to actually address the issues in the power sector. And so far, we've seen a lot of issues you've come up with. Can you tell us what you've discovered in this sector and what actually is the way forward for some of the issues?
Well, that is a very broad question. You are not specific. If we're specific, are you talking in terms of tariff? Are you talking in terms of lack of efficiency in the sector? So your question is too broad. If we're specific, I will be...
Yes, I'm also aware that most of the things you're working on is to actually address, find a holistic approach to some of the issues in the sector. So can you talk to us specifically about some of the things you've been able to...
Well, the essence of privatization was to create efficiency in the sector. Unfortunately, the process itself started on a faulty note. Some of the parameters used were a bit faulty, and so the sector has been encumbered by problems which ordinarily would have been avoidable. And so what we are trying to do in the National Assembly is to identify the core challenges so that we can help the executive in addressing them. And what are these core challenges? First, the infrastructural deficit that is in the sector. The people who bought the assets, that is the distribution and the generators, bought these assets believing that they were told, rather, that those assets were in order. Unfortunately, most of them were not as they were told. And so when they took over, they encountered some of these big challenges. And that has led to the inefficiency in the sector that we're experiencing now. So now we have identified that there is misalignment in the sector. There is the issues of losses in terms of commercial and collection losses and technical as a result of the deficit that already existed from the time of NEPA to Power Holding to the new private owners. And so we've now have and identified, because all the stakeholders in the sector came before us, and all of them have accepted that, well, These are the challenges, and if they are addressed, there will be efficiency in the sector. And so we're putting that before the plenary of the Senate, and eventually we'll take it to the President, who has the responsibility to make the final say as far as the issues are concerned.
Is it pushing for the reversal of the privatization?
No, we're not. We're not. That would distort the economy and then create issues of trust and confidence in the international community. We can't attend. Rather, we want to encourage the government to continue with the privatization as far as the power sector is concerned. You know, there are teething problems, but those teething problems will not be the reason why they should review the privatization. The privatization was done. People have bought it. All we can do is to try to make sure that there is enhanced performance in the sector.
Thank you, sir.
Regulation, we have 64 million appropriated. Our amount expended so far is nil because of the rain, I think. Yeah, and we're getting the weather, to get for them to pour asphalt. The contract is still ongoing at over 90% completion. So the major outstanding work which the contractor is in the process of executing is to cover the remaining 2 and 3 roads with bitumen and asphalt. The project contractor is Mr. Oliver, Venture Committed, and project consultant Mr. George Onyama and Ashwin. So we have the details here at the back side. And then we have idea of coming up with the the regional training center, administrative headquarters there, and also classrooms for a group to really be able to access the 3,050 megawatts in terms of capacity building in that northeast. That is the only region where we don't have the training center, so we're trying to develop one and using it as well to really access the opportunity of the Mamila project. So we're starting on that. We have done the adverts already. We will really get the consultants to really work on that particular project. We have also the ISO certification, which is ongoing, which we have already started because as a center of excellence in power training in Africa, one of the demands is for us to be ISO certified. And then we have already started as hopefully, before the end of the year, we'll have our certification. Then we have, and in order to really make training to be a front burner of activities and to take capacity building very serious, we have the training policy, that is the national training policy coming up. We have the draft already. We are submitting this to the next council of, that is National Power Council. And we also have the collaboration with NEMSA and LECAN, that is to really come up with certification of that is electrical installation, human capital. So we're also working with REA. We have over 200 young Nigerians who are trained, and then we are trying to link them to have access to internship with that, and then possibly to get jobs as well. What I just want to emphasize there, sir, is that we try to start the program with the National Assembly to train some young Nigerians, and I look forward to maybe in the 2021 budget that we can increase these opportunities for constituents and also make provision for tools for them to work with maybe in the budget. Because post-COVID, we are seeing this challenge that there will be need for jobs, and then critical areas in the power sector that whereby we can key into. We want to leverage on that as a training institute in the power sector to bring up jobs that can easily be at the reach of the young timid Nigerians. Areas in solar PV installation, metering, and we're also looking at electrical installation, both which will have a very, very big efficient project to develop. So if you have access, will definitely help us in achieving our goal. This is our road, and it's really, when rain comes like this, we are always so we want to see what FEMA can quickly do for us, maybe to help us really make it possible. And then the long-term effort is going to be on maybe.
Yusuf, also from Taraba. Next to...
the discourse following them because they are not paying, then they are saying if your guy is not paying, is it the small people that...
But for now, this is what we have been able to, this is the position of this one.
Which one is that?
Well, we have this one. So yeah, that's right.